Today is part one of a three-part series, and we're going to be talking about how to care for your senior bulldogs, how to graciously let them live out their final days with you. Thanks for tuning in. I believe this is going to be very informative for our audience. Welcome. This is going to be a great topic, caring for our senior dogs. In this case, it's going to be bulldogs. Honey, thanks for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very busy schedule. Also, Michelle Adams from, is it the Chicago area, Michelle?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Chicago suburbs.
Welcome. Looking forward to hearing what you have to share. And then our family friend, Janet. We met Janet when she got Augustus from us, King Augustus. So thanks for coming on, Janet. Looking forward to the things you're going to share.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So caring for our senior dogs. I got to say, Michelle, we've been friends on Facebook and that, but whenever I saw a video that you posted, it was a TikTok or a reel or something, and you were going down the hall with your camera, and it was foot level down there, and you had a water bowl, and you had food, you had toys, you had bed. This was your house. It was very evident that you're top shelf in caring for senior dogs, and I had to chat with you about that. So where do we start, ladies? Our dogs, they're not 2 anymore. They're not 5. They're 8. And I really feel like we need to understand that because of their age, just like us, it's a different life stage, and there's different things going on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like with people, when people get older, there's different, things that we have to do for our health and our accommodations.
There's something serene, something just precious about our dogs when they get older. They're more grateful, right?
They're more in tune to us too, because they've spent so much of their lifetime with us, especially if we've had them since they were puppies. And I think we're just like in a marriage when a couple are so in tune with each other because they've known each other for so long. You can almost not even have to say something. They already know what you're thinking. It's the same thing with people. You get to where you're so in tune with them that it's like you just flow through life. I think it's something like that.
So what are some of the special needs they get older? Like, just off the top, I'm thinking environmental, bulldogs in particular, they're not as, able to handle temperature variations like the heat and the cold as well as they could when they're younger. So we have to be careful in that. What are some other needs to look out for in our senior dogs?
Well, I think that you have to look out for increased health problems because just like when people get older, we develop health issues. Dogs are the same. I've had 2 dogs with cancer now. I'm caring for one with cancer. He's an older dog. And so you have to look out for the different health things that might come up with the breed that you have. You also have to, a lot of dogs as they age, their paw pads get really slippery and it's hard for them to walk on wood floors or tile floors. So you may have to have some accommodations with that. The video that you referred to where I'm showing what I have had to do in my own home is we have a lot of wood floors, and I've had to lay any type of throw rug that I can find. I don't care if it's tattered or what it looks like. I've got all these throw rugs all over the place because my senior dog can't walk on wood floors very easily. He always slips. He can't get up when he's laying down. So, I've had to do that to accommodate him. I know that as he's gotten older, it's harder for him to even bend over and eat in his food bowl. And I, watched him, and I could see like when he's way down in his bowl, his spine is really curving. And I thought, it's more helpful to him when his spine is a little bit more erect. So I've had to like prop up his food bowl so that he can eat a little bit in a better position for him now that he's older. Um, so those types of things, you might have to do supplements. I do supplements with my dogs as they've aged. So, like for their joints, because just like with people, we all get degeneration in our joints. Dogs are the same. They're going to get degeneration. So you might have to do some joint supplements of some sort. And those are a couple things. Like my dog has temperature problems. He gets really hot. So he likes to go outside. Like right now it's wintertime in Illinois, and he likes to go outside in winter and lay on even though we have snow here, he likes to lay on like the cold pavement just to kind of help him regulate his temperature a little bit when he's hot. So maybe even in the summertime, like I'll have a fan blowing on him to try to keep him cooler. So, these are all things that just like with a person, like as we get older, stairs are harder. Stairs are more difficult with dogs as they age as well. One of my dogs I've had, she has a tear right now in her meniscus, and I've had to, it's a partial tear. So what I've done is I've restricted her movement. I use a lot of baby gates around the house. I don't let her jump on the couch. I don't let her go up the stairs so that I can heal that. And I do the same with my senior dog because I don't want him falling. I had a senior dog that she started to slip down the stairs. It really scared me. So now I use these baby gates a lot so I can make sure that I can, help monitor his movement around the house.
It's funny that you said that right before we got on here. Janet was sharing that she had to modify her house as well because her dog he had surgery. And would you care to share about that, Janet?
Sure. Well, so right now, just rehabbing. So he is restricted, just like a senior dog might be restricted, right? You can't jump up on anything. And so literally my sofas and love seats have pillows and other objects on them. So he can't jump up. So he won't, re-injure or hurt it. And like you said, baby gates. So I've got baby gates up so that he can't go up and down the stairs. Or I restrict him, to be like in the kitchen and the breakfast area so that he doesn't have mobility around the whole entire house until he is, fully healed. I mean, and that's not an aging dog. That's just a dog that's, had surgery, to replace or I guess repair his ACL that he tore. But I also had a dog that was, as he aged, became deaf and blind. And, we had to be very cognizant of that around the house. He couldn't hear very well, but he also couldn't see very well. So we made sure that when we would get up from the table, we would push the chairs in. Otherwise, he would run into them. So he could navigate just fine because he'd been here for years and knew the house well, but we couldn't leave things out, toys or, chairs or just moving things into places that he didn't know about. So we made those adjustments for him as well.
Right. And that's part of those special needs that you have to be aware of as your dog's age. Just like people have special needs, your pets have special needs as well. And that's, Michelle, you touched upon that. Our daughter in San Antonio is dealing with that as well. She's got an aging dog, Coco, and she can't go up and downstairs anymore. I mean, she'll do it because she wants to be with you. But our son-in-law picks her up, carries her upstairs so that she's with them, helps her go downstairs. At night, they have a special time of bonding where they'll watch TV and they'll put, some things down on their couch and he'll pick her up and put her on the couch so she can be with them. Just caring for your older animals is kind of like caring for an older person. You make special provisions for them and you see, what it is that they're lacking in or needing help with, and you accommodate that.
Nathan is quite the gentleman. That's our son-in-law with Coco. He adores her, like you said, honey. Carry her up and down the stairs because most of the time they're upstairs, with the new baby, and they don't just leave her out of their life. It's a new level of grace and patience with these older dogs. Apollo, he's still our boy Apollo. He's approaching 6. He's still got some spring in his step, and I'm used to, like, whenever we go in and out or go places, he's got some zip to him, but they slow down just like we do. And I think what you're saying is patience is a big thing.
Patience and just being aware. Just being aware. Like you ladies were saying, a dog that's going blind, you got to be aware of that and remove the items, just like Janet said. Or if you're, you have those stairs and you can't be monitoring them and you're scared that they might fall down, or those baby gates, are helpful. Just being aware of what it is that they're needing.
Easier bed access. Right now, we have multiple beds in our house for our guys, and Apollo, he's liking the ones that don't step up. We've got the ones that are sort of elevated, you guys, where you got 6 inches of air underneath, and he actually prefers the one on the ground.
Yeah.
What about nutrition? You kind of touched on it, Michelle. What are some nutritional ideas for senior dogs in particular? Maybe their needs, or even things that maybe to spoil them a little bit, nutrition wise.
Well, I feed my dogs a raw diet. So, but that doesn't mean, that's not for everyone. I understand. In the past, I used to use kibble as well. But there's lots of ways to add to your dog's diet, whether you do kibble or whether you do raw or you do something in between. Because I do believe that you have to do what works for both you and the dog, and that there's no one, right answer for that. But there's lots of supplements that you can give a dog, just like with, people, how you give, as we age and we try to eat healthy, we do certain, things. With dogs, you can do the same thing. Like until I started to really do a lot of holistic things with my dog who has cancer, I didn't realize that you can give the dogs so many different raw types of food as maybe treats, or even as toppers for kibble to make your kibble bowl a little bit healthier. You can give them tea. You can brew tea for your dogs. I make bone broth at home for my dogs because it's healthy, and you can add that to the dog's bowl. No matter what they're eating, you can make that kibble like a little bit wetter and make it a little bit healthier by adding bone broth or tea to it. You can do the same thing if they have a raw meal. You can add that bone broth right to their bowl. And that's very helpful because just like fresh foods are good for people, like I'm a foodie. I also own a food business. And so foods are really important to me, and I like to cook a lot. Just like it's with people, fresh is best. Same thing with dogs. You can add those fresh fruits and vegetables as treats or toppers, and it's a little bit healthier than what you might pick up, in the pet store for, a treat. So, and my dogs like all kinds of things. I mean, they love bananas with like a little bit of peanut butter and yogurt on it. They love stuff like that. My daughter will make them, we make them homemade treats, frozen yogurt with berries mixed into it. They love those because they love eating ice cubes and stuff like that. And so they love those frozen treats, and they're healthy because the yogurt is just like with people, it's healthy for us. Yogurt is healthy for dogs too. So there's lots of things that you can do with respect to foods that you can give them that is a little bit healthier for them. As they age, their joints need a little bit more supplementation. So in addition to giving them a joint supplement, you could also give them things that have the natural, chondroitin in them. Like, for instance, I give my dogs chicken feet, and just a raw chicken foot has a lot of healthy things for them that also helps the dog's own mobility. So, just things like this, you can learn about these things just to help make your dog have a healthier diet.
I used to feed raw exclusively, and one article I remember I read, we were heavy on the chicken. We would buy, the 10-pound bags of leg quarters, and so the muscle went directly to supporting the dog's, muscle structure. The bones and gristle went directly to supporting their bone skeletal system, and then the skin and some of the more soft tissue went to supporting their skin and coat and soft tissue. So yeah, we're big fans of raw. We don't feed raw exclusively now, but I know even when they get older, food that comes directly from Mother Nature is a lot easier for their systems to process than man-made stuff like kibble. It comes from a factory. So with these guys getting older, though, you can almost sense their gratitude. Like in dog language, Janet, they can say, thank you, please. You had an older dog too. I know Gus is I saw a video of Gus just the other day plowing through 2 feet of snow, but that's not the kind of activity your older dog once did, right? So once they get older, what's some ways that we can still give them a fulfilling life, but not so high in activity? Like, what are some maybe short bursts of activity that you would recommend, Janet, for a senior dog?
I tell you what, so like I had a Cocker Spaniel and he was really pretty active almost till the very end, right? A little different than Bulldogs, right? Whereas Bulldogs are a little more chill. But no, he used to like hurdle over things, and we didn't do agility for him, but he loved to run and fetch and play, and we would still do that, but the distance wouldn't be as far, right? And the amount of time we spent doing that diminished because he was, napping more throughout the day versus, being up and running around. But I mean, we used to take him on very long walks, and then it got to the point where, instead of going to the park and going on a long walk, we were just kind of walking around the neighborhood, and that was plenty of exercise for him. But yeah, so they definitely, are very good at letting what works best for them.
I like that. They let us know. It doesn't take a rocket science to read your dog, right? If they're 1-year-old, they have a lot more energy that they can burn off. But just look at your guys, like us, get too far away from home, you can call and get a ride back if you're going to walk too long.
And I don't know how you ladies feel about this, but I feel they do need some form of exercise, and not like they did when they were young. Just like we need to move so that, when we're sitting for too long, we hurt when we get up or whatever. Older dogs are the same. I don't believe that they should just be laying around doing nothing. They, even a short little walk to the kitchen and back is better than just laying around being, inactive. I think that accelerates aging.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, but I think the same thing applies to people, just like it does with dogs. There's a lot of people that once you stop moving, you really stop, you stop wanting to live, basically. And the same thing with dogs. Like I've noticed with my senior that he's more susceptible to the elements. So what I do is if it is a really cold day, like, usually 10 degrees or lower, I don't take him outside for a walk. But if it's nicer out, he needs that walk every day, no matter if he has cancer, no matter if it's hard for him to move. We just do less of a walk, we'll go less of a distance, but just to get him outside and go, like, he looks forward to that. He loves it. He waits for it every single day. That's his time to smell all the smells and, breathe the fresh air and, see what everyone in the neighborhood is doing. And he looks forward to that. And so I think just like with people, how we look forward to certain things, dogs look forward to things too. And I would never deprive him of that. He loves that. My younger dog, like she can run after the Frisbee and she run after the ball. My old senior dog can't do that, but he still loves to, participate and come along.
Our seniors one of their favorite things to do is sunbathe, right? It can be kind of a cool day, but if the sun is out shining, they'll just lay out in the grass and just chill, with those rays hitting them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, ladies, this was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for joining and sharing these wonderful ideas, how we can really enrich the lives of our senior dogs. I look forward to meeting with you guys again, talking about saying goodbye.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, make sure that you subscribe, and if you've got a friend that's got a Bulldog or is interested in getting a Bulldog, be sure you share this video with them, because I'd love to have them aboard too. Y'all, thank you for your time once again. Have a great day.